Welcome to RNT Fitness Radio, episode 6. I'm Adam Haley and I'm joined by Akash and fitness photographer Ben Mark.
Howdy.
So let's kick this off with, who are you?
So, as you just found out, I'm Ben Mark. I'm a fitness photographer based in Crawley, West Sussex. Do a lot of work travelling around, multiple different venues. I also do a bit of broadcast television work. 31 years old, if that makes any difference in life.
He talks a lot as well, so this will be
a
long one. So for those of you doing cardio, you are looked after.
And if you are looking forward to going to sleep, good luck. Enjoy your nap.
So obviously, I know you through Adam. How did you guys meet?
So, I think it was about 2012.
Yeah, the room was like full. The room was full, and I just caught your eye from.
Yeah, it was literally just in the distance, and I caught.
It was meant to be. Yeah?
It was lucky because obviously Adam's quite a lot shorter. There was a tiny gap, and I saw his face, and that was it. So no, it was about 2012, I think, when I started with you.
Yeah. Just about a year before I started UP.
So I got fat, let's put it that way, and then a common friend of ours, Ryan, he put us in touch. He said, look, you should talk to Adam, he'll be able to get you in shape, look after you. Unfortunately, I just joined at the gym that Adam was working at.
Yep.
And then one thing led to another, and now we never don't, we don't talk.
So,
by the way, Peter, I'll mess up so many words, so I'm quite happy with the fact that you're going to hear me as honest as I can be.
So how did you find the process when we worked together in terms of the diet? So back then,
you gave me 6 weeks of no carbs.
Well, I'm about to explain that. So back then, as Ben admitted himself, he was pleasantly plump.
I enjoyed eating.
He was packing the pounds, and had at this point very little knowledge in nutrition. So what I decided to do at that point was, for the first 6 weeks, let's just go low carb. It's very simple to follow. Adherence is typically quite high, especially somebody that comes to me straight off the bat. Strike while the iron's hot. They're motivated. They're ready to go. So we ran low carb for I think 6 weeks, and then we gradually started to introduce some carbs. So how did you find the process, the training, the nutrition, how did you get on?
So I know I'm quite driven. If I want to do something, I just get my head down and crack on with it. And initially, I think because I was quite big, like the results started happening quite quickly. Yeah. And so I think like the results started happening quite quickly, which was good. And obviously there's so much to take in when you first start out. Like if you don't know anything, you're suddenly learning about ways to move, different exercises, the correct way of doing it, how to eat, and then you start looking into quite a lot of detail of like, when should I eat? Is this the right thing?
What was your training experience before you started?
I played football.
Oh, so you hadn't been in the gym much?
I'd never done the gym, literally. I was literally brand spankers to the gym floor.
How did you find it?
I quite liked it, to be fair. I liked the learning side of it. I initially, when I was in school, I was going to go into physiotherapy. It was something that I liked the idea of, and I liked the kind of learning. I always wanted to be a footballer, but it didn't work out that way. And I thought I'd rather be involved with something like that where I could kind of help benefit people and do that side of things. So when I started, I instantly kind of got hooked on it. It was quite interesting. And then when I started seeing the results, I was quite keen to see what else would happen. Kind of committed to everything, put everything into it. So yeah, initially, like it's a lot to take. I think for someone who's brand new to it is a lot to take in. And you have to, I'd almost, as a bit of advice, say, give yourself, if you're going to do it, kind of clear your diary if you can a little bit. Just give yourself a bit of free time to kind of understand it, but not go, like when you first start, you don't need to go too deep.
This is the problem with people that begin a transformation that don't have that much experience, is they read a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of that, and they try and mesh it all together, and they overanalyze, and it
just need to focus on one thing. And just be consistent.
Yeah, or as this is a plug for us. Of course, hire a coach. Like whether it's us, whether it's somebody else. Like just get somebody to do the thinking for you. Just nail the plans that they set. Don't overthink. When you're training in the gym, you're going to have different people come and give you different bits of advice. Just follow one person, follow that through.
I think,
and then as you get into it towards the end of the transformation, then you can start looking into the more fancy things, jazzing things up, and how you periodise your training, what supplements to take, and so on.
I think if you were to say, like, obviously because you start taking it in and you start listening to things, I think nowadays, because there's so many different people out there, it's hard to trust someone to say they are actually going to give me the right knowledge, because I think you could just go, oh, like, you've got transformations, and suddenly someone turns around and goes, oh, he's a nightmare to work with. And that could just put the wrong things in. But, like, you know, you have to allow that trainer a bit of time to actually, like, give you the kind of transformation, learn to work with each other. You wouldn't just go straight into a relationship and go, right, we're going to buy a house and we're going to get married next week. You wouldn't. You'd give it a bit of time and you kind of get to know things. So I think that's definitely key to starting. Like, now I've done it and been through it.
So what was the biggest kind of challenge you faced in that initial transformation? And how did you overcome it?
I think it's just changing it isn't changing your lifestyle, but it's changing the way you do regular things. Because everything has a slight impact. You know, like I remember seeing it going, I could only really eat green veg. So I was constantly, like, looking at green veg. I was constantly trying to find where I could get it from, because I was just like, that's what I thought I needed to do. That was, I'd obviously looking for protein and just trying to get my head around it. So I think initially getting that kind of mindset and then knowing what the right thing to do with it was. That was probably, as well as going and doing the jobs that I was doing, because I think at the time I was still travelling, so it was like kind of going away, just going away. Like I purposely started my diet when I was at home for 3 or 4 months, so that I had the time to be able to do it. When I went away, for me, I just knew that was hard, because I was going away with a bunch of guys that like to go out drinking. Well, not always, but, you know, they like to go out and enjoy food. They're not worried about their food.
So how did you stick to your diet when you were travelling? What kind of
I
tips?
didn't. I stopped my diet. We come to us that time. I'd stopped. We aimed for just before I started going away again.
We did like an initial transformation, didn't we, where we got you to.
The first one I did over like 4 months, and it was just when I was at home. So luckily I didn't have to go away, and that was purposely why I did it. I kind of thought I'd rather not go. I'm like one of these all or nothing, so I'd go all in, and then when that finished, I didn't necessarily stop, but I kind of just relaxed from it a little bit.
Can you remember what body fat percentage we got to the first time round? So we did this transformation in 2 stages. So first time round,
I think it was about 12, maybe 13.
Yeah, so we pushed him hard. Got you from 23 down to that. Then he travelled, and it was almost like you regress, maybe like 2 steps forwards, 1 step back. So you regress slightly, and then came back. Obviously, we did the second part of the transformation, which is then when we got you down to 10%. So, and visible abs, photoshoot condition.
How was his compliance? Was he pretty good client? Or?
Yeah, easy.
Well, I ate the right foods. And I've always said this, and it was the one thing that why I learned going back into fitness and did another diet afterwards. I ate the right things. I just didn't weigh my food. So I'd eat near enough the right amount. I'll hand on my heart, that was the one thing that I didn't do right towards the end. The second time as well, I was single, which you're going out dating, you're going out, I was travelling around a bit, it was hard to, I was in Dubai for 2.5 weeks, and literally, as much as rice and chicken is kind of part of most people's diet, if you're taking it to the literal point of dieting like that, it was the worst food, and I couldn't get anything else because I was literally on site and that was what they gave us. So I kind of stuck to it as good as I could. I still trained. I trained all the time, made sure that I was doing that. But yeah, the first time around I was quite fortunate. I actually managed to have that time to do it. The second time I did have to keep going away. So I kept on top of it, and I still achieved, I looked quite thin, and I didn't look very full on the first one because I didn't really pack a lot of muscle.
Obviously the issue is, for somebody brand new, they haven't accrued that muscle tissue yet. So you go through your first diet and you're losing body fat. You'll gain a small amount of muscle tissue, but the end product, you don't look jacked, which is what people are after.
Exactly.
But that's where taking the time afterwards to then go into an excess of calories, build some muscle tissue. Then the second, the third, the fourth time you diet down, you look better and better each time because you've got more muscle mass each time, you're refining it.
And I think that's something that's definitely helped with my photography, is that understanding that process. Because then when people say to me about it, I can say, look, the likelihood is you're probably going to want to do this again.
Yeah.
Because I understand, looking at my photos, the first lot, and I was like, I've achieved a lot, but like I knew deep down that like I didn't really achieve my full goal.
Why?
But then I had to learn about what that goal meant. Like you said to me, what was your goal? I was like, I just wanted to lose weight. I didn't realise I wanted to look a certain way or have a certain, you know, if you're into bodybuilding, you're a PT, you understand what abs look like, how your body could look or whatever like that. So that was definitely, that was something that took me a while to get my head around, I think.
Yeah.
So I expected to look like, I looked obviously a lot leaner, but I expected to look a lot more muscular.
Yeah.
But that's part of the learning process. If you've never done something, you wouldn't know it.
My client, there's a reason my client Hetan is, I think he's just got in touch with you recently, or he's just about to. He's going to do his second shoot with Ben, but his third shoot while working with me. That's because each time he just gets better and better photos. So he's now done 2 shoots. He beat his condition previously. We spoke about 10 days ago, and he's now getting in contact with him for April. And again, we're just in between these shoots. We work on bringing up weak body parts, we get his calories as high as possible.
And also, the more muscle he has, the leaner you can get, right?
Yeah, the leaner you can get, the more food you can handle when you're on the diet.
That was definitely something that I enjoyed, the second diet, because I'd already. And in between the first diet and the second one, I still trained quite a lot. I just didn't necessarily like eat the right. I was more conscious of what I was eating. I definitely wasn't going out and eating crap.
No, it wasn't.
But I didn't have a clue. Like, you know, I never weighed anything. It was just going out, and if I did go out for a few drinks, I wasn't bothered about it. Most of the time, I'm not a massive drinker, so I didn't really bother. But like that kind of taught me a bit more about what I was doing. So when I did diet the second time, I put on a little bit of size, but I was actually put on a bit of muscle as well, because I was kind of eating whatever and training, which then helped for when I did my next one. We did it in a lot smaller time, and I achieved
had more food too.
Yeah, and it was such a better process.
So Ben, when you got to 10% body fat, how did you feel?
Brilliant.
So I was about to say,
I was single when I looked shit up. For the first time I felt I looked like that. It was, that was. And to be fair, after doing that photo shoot, the images went straight on Tinder, and that's how I met my fiance. So it works. It's you feel good, you feel confident, you've worked hard. That's the real thing that I think I've taken from dieting, and the whole process of starting what I did, is that I learned that if I worked hard for something myself, I could take the rewards from it. And that's what took me into the photography, was like, if I actually follow this, it's going to get somewhere. That's the one thing. And I think it's, for me, I travel a lot. I work on the golf tour half the year, and then I kind of do the photography in the meantime, and then try and buy a house and get married and do all the other nonsense. But I think that's the one thing that now, as of, tomorrow is Friday the 22nd tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's my last day working full-time for a company. Full-time photographer next year. Well, I still will do a bit of golf work, but to get that balance, I'm quite looking forward to, like, I definitely haven't been watching my diet recently, hence why I've got a looser fitting top. I was going to get Akash one as well, but I won't go into that. But like for me, like Jade and I are going travelling in February. She's been dieting. She looks incredible. I wake up in the morning and go, I wish I had her mindset at the moment. Which, you know, but then I'm fully aware that I'm trying to work on building something at the moment outside of the fitness thing. I know I can diet, and if I want to go back to it and find that.
This is an important one for clients as well, is we all, you know, we're all human. I think you've been through it, I've been through it, you're going through it, where priorities change, and there's nothing wrong with that. Where,
exactly.
You know, initially my goal for my clients is sign up with me. There's a reason that you've just committed to paying this money, right? You're motivated to change, so let's capitalize on that. Go as hard as you can for the first 6 months, get to where you want to be. And then you can go through periods where calories go up, you can back off of training a little bit, then you go back into it and pulse. And that's what doing the multiple photo shoots is it's a pretty cool idea. Is it gives clients that go time, you know, once or twice a year, and then periods where you back off, especially right now over Christmas.
I think if you shift your priorities like that, you're going to be in this for the long run.
Yeah.
Because if you go balls out all the time, that's when you see people burning out.
Definitely. That's why you might be able to hear that, like, you know, I've literally been going all out on other stuff.
And so you can only blast on one thing at a time, right, in your life. So for you right now, it's business. For us, it's the same right now, right? It's business. So physique is now main priority. But when it is,
Yeah, things are ticking over.
Because he was miserable as hell when he was dieting, and that's when
this
it
man,
gave
by
his
the way, when you
clients.
see it pointing, it's Akash.
It's Akash, yeah, not
Yeah, and for
Akash.
those of you that
Yeah.
listen to this through iTunes and the podcast, you don't have, you're not seeing us visually. Ben is pointing to Akash as the miserable one.
it's because I shot.
Mind you, Adam's quite good as well. He could be quite honest.
Honest, I like that.
I did four shoots with Ben in the lead up to my show, and every time he saw me each week, I was looking worse and worse.
Yeah. Oh, it was looking better.
Yeah.
It's just like you diet into that, and I think that's one thing that's never led me to compete. Is the fact that I quite like being who I am.
Yeah, it does.
And like I don't want to go to that point of like not
Yeah,
banging your head
there's
against
a
the wall,
line.
but you've got if you want to win, that's kind of where you don't. I don't think you have to be like as miserable, or like I'm not saying as miserable as you, but like some people get like really down in the dumps about things. And I also think that if you stay positive and you stay excited and happy about things and look for the positives, you actually probably diet better.
See, that
achieve
works
more.
to a point.
Yeah, there's a point.
That works to
There's
a
the
point.
last
I
3-4
100%
weeks, there's
agree.
just-
But when your body fat gets that low and dietary fat becomes low, inside that last 2 to 4 weeks, no matter how positive you try and be.
But I think you're also so close to
hate
finishing,
people.
aren't you? You're so close to finishing your goal that like you're so close to finishing that goal that it's like now, like I've already started switching off for Christmas yet. I've still got tons to do, you know. But in your head, you're already like, like looking forward to roast dinner on Christmas Day. I'm looking forward to chilling out, and so like I think that's where it comes from. But yeah, definitely like keeping that positivity high for as long as you can.
For as long as you can, definitely on a
I remember
diet.
I think I saw Ben 9 days out for my show. And we were shooting Sean. And I think Ben he just gone to get stuff, and I was sitting on the bench eating my food, and he comes in with a tray of food with a big smile on his face. And he's like, why are you so grumpy? I was like, Ben.
Yeah, that's hard. But then, like, fair play, I completely admire anyone that can do it. And that's why I think, like, I've always gotten well with people within the photography stuff, because I can accept, like, it's not where I want to go to. I thought about competing before. I thought, like, do I want to just do it to actually see where I can get to? But at the same time, like, I just don't think I've got the desire.
But this is good though, because
because
the problem that we've got, and that I keep saying to Akash, is I'm getting inquiries from female clients that unlike you, they don't know what it takes to compete. They haven't seen this side of it, and they're getting in touch with me. I've had girls get in touch with me to compete, and when I say to them, "Oh, what's your training setup looking like?" "Oh, I don't train yet."
Yeah.
What? How are you going to go and compete there?
Yeah.
Like you
Doing
need that foundation.
Doing it for Instagram.
Precisely, and this is the problem: is people are doing it for Instagram. They just scroll through, they see somebody looking great, and they think it's easy.
Yeah.
They don't see the stuff that you've seen. You know, the irritable moods, low libido, you know, hair and skin and stuff potentially going awry.
Yeah.
They're not aware of all this. They think it's all just sunshine and rainbows and Snapchat filters.
And they also don't realise how much muscle you need to compete.
Yeah,
that's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
When you're that lean, if you don't have any muscle, you're just going to look like a skeleton, right?
Yeah.
The example that I use is I started training when I was 14 is when I took up my first gym membership. Nuffield Crawley was my first gym membership, 14 years old.
Was you much taller then?
I wasn't much taller, no, I capped out at that. Peaked too early. I've lost my train of thought. Where am I going with this? Yeah, so 14, and within the first year, I'd already been pulled into, you know, the look of Arnie and this and that, and I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I had my leg operation at 15, come back from that, brought all the bodybuilder magazines, and I knew that that's when I wanted to compete. I didn't compete though until I was 20. So that's from 14-ish, 14, 15, until I was 20, and that's when it was like, okay, this is the next stepping stone for me. But you've got people now that have just gone on Instagram, they haven't even got their gym membership yet, and they're talking about competing, and it is just insane.
Yeah.
So where you say that, you know it's not for you, this is a good thing. You know,
yeah, exactly.
You can see it. I wish more people were open to it, and then they can look at it and actually I can do that, or no, that's not me.
You've got to have a real
fucked up mindset,
a real goal, like a desire to do it.
I also agree with Adam, what you just said.
Fucked up mindset. You've got to be pretty twisted in the head to be able to controllably starve yourself and get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, in November, and do your cardio, and
but
when
also,
everyone else is eating.
Let's take this back a step. Like, you did your last one when you won. You did it in a lot less time. Everyone was telling you no, but because you did it in a lot of time, it was harder. But like doing such a long process as well, like that's tough.
Yeah, I always say both types of prep that I've done, and if we compare my prep to your prep,
Yeah, complete opposites.
complete opposites. Both are fucking hard.
Yeah.
So Akash, for anyone that hasn't followed, his diet was 21 weeks, which is a long time to put social events on
Nearly
hold to
half
a
a
degree.
year.
Yeah,
Half
it
a year
is.
this year.
It is. When you wake up, when you're prepping, it's not like a little Weight Watchers diet, where you have your points here and there. It's all consuming. You've got your cardio to do. You've got potentially 6-7 meals a day. You've got to train 4 to 5 times per week. You're tracking everything. Like when you prep, you wake up.
It's a number one
and
priority. I mean,
it's
think about when I went to
number one
Algarve,
priority.
right? I had all my food.
Yeah,
ready.
Akash and I went on holiday to Algarve for 4 or 5 nights, and he packed all his foods and everything, and he's setting his alarm. We're on holiday, and he's getting up to get his steps in first thing in the morning. And I'm going to restaurants. I ate pizza at a restaurant. He just sat opposite me with, I think you just
Diet
had
Coke.
Diet Coke, and then he went and sat outside on a bench and had to sit and eat his chicken and rice out his Tupperware.
Yeah.
Like, how many people are prepared to
You
do
know
that?
what though? I would say to people openly, I'd say if you want to find out more about yourself, do something like it.
Get in shape.
Maybe not like do a photo shoot, do something like that. There's a lot of people that I speak to that have to step massively out of their comfort zone to do a photo shoot with me. And yet, as you can see, I'm very laid back, I'm very easy to get on with. Going on stage, putting yourself in front of hundreds of people who are all judging you, not just the 5 people that are in front of you or 4 people judging you, the whole crowd is looking at you. And you want to go on stage because you just want a similar picture. When you suddenly turn that around and you look out and there's all these hundreds of people staring at you like this. But if you want to learn something about yourself, give yourself the time to do it, go for it. Because otherwise I never would have got to where I got to.
This is why I love setting photo shoots as a goal for clients.
It's that great middle
so
ground.
great, right? It's not
Quite
as
the
fun.
pressure of a show.
And they get to meet me.
You get to meet Ben.
Great. Sorry for anyone that I put his way.
They have 2 levels of accountability then, right? They've got accountability to us, and then also the camera, because you don't want to show up in the middle of middle of a bodybuilding gym, topless and looking like crap, right, in front of a camera.
And it's a waste of money.
Yeah, it's a waste of
You
money.
paid our coaching, you're paying Ben for his shoot, and you want to get the
So
most
it's a big
out
level
it,
of
so-
accountability, big incentives,
But,
big
but
deadline.
without the pressure of one needing to be in stage condition, because there is a big difference between photo shoot condition and stage condition, and 2, you're not stood in your underwear in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah.
So but let's
Just a good
go
segue.
down that route now.
Yeah, just a good segue
So
into
when I first met you, you were interested in photography, but at the time you were mainly doing wedding photography.
Yeah.
That was whenever I would speak to you, that was the bulk of it. But
Yeah.
now, obviously, you're actually quite a well-known fitness photographer.
You're getting there.
It's building, it's gaining momentum. I mean, I'm getting people approach me for coaching, saying, "I've got a photo shoot in 6 weeks. Can you get me ready for it?" And when I turn around and say, "Oh, who's it with?" "Oh, it's with Ben." "Oh,
just
okay."
this morning actually, someone asked me, I want to do 6 months with you, and then I'll have a shoot with Ben at the end.
Yeah, so your name is getting out there. So let's go into that.
It's working. Commitment to Instagram.
There we go. Instagram's where it's at. It's
Well,
building
for
our
a photographer.
business.
Or is it just because you know us?
Yeah, or we just
A
hooked you
bit,
up.
yeah. I think we work well together though.
Yeah.
That's the whole part of it.
Yeah.
It should be
Yeah, it's good.
like that way.
So anyway, so you did your transformation with me, and then you kind of went into the fitness. Like, how did it all come about?
I wanted to learn more. I started off in mountain bike and BMX photography. We used to go out riding our bikes, and I'd always look and go, I can't do all the tricks that other people do. I just didn't have the balls for it. But I enjoyed watching it and then going, if they were doing a certain trick, I'd know how, if I was doing that trick, how I'd want it to look, which kind of gave me an opportunity when I got my head around it to kind of use the camera to allow people to see that and how I wanted it to be seen. And as anyone that's done it before, when you get a good clip and someone sees it and goes, holy shit, that looks good, it's a good feeling inside. Like, I remember flying to Dubai to go to work, and I opened up a BMX magazine, and there was my photo in a magazine. I've just flown however many thousands of miles around the world, and there's my photo in a magazine. That's quite a cool feeling. If you've not had that, which I doubt most people will, that's quite a cool feeling. So, and it kind of, the ball started rolling with that, and then I kind of got very concentrated on my day job, which kind of took me away from the photography a little bit. And then I had the opportunity, like I said to you, I'd love to do some shoots, and like it was kind of a bit of a trial thing. And looking back on it now, I think you'd never really employ me again. But at the same time, like, it was a big learning curve.
Yeah.
And you obviously had an image in your head of what you liked it to look at. I then did the shoot, probably turned around, and nowadays I go, it's nothing near what it was, but in my mind it was closer to what you said.
Yeah.
And it was finding out, like for me, like I'm quite open. If I don't know something, I just don't know it. So I need to go and learn it. I need to go and find out what it means to do all of that lot. So I kind of got into the fitness side. I've always liked sports. I've always liked anything to do with sports. I'm a sporty guy. I like to get out, play football, ride bikes, whatever. So the fitness kind of thing, after I'd done my transformation, was kind of like I could understand it, which gave me like a step forward compared to someone else that just knows how to pick up a camera. Mm-hmm. There's millions of people out there that can pick up a camera, but there's not many people who can deliver a service to people and also bring out the best in people and make them feel comfortable and deliver all of that in one go, which is hard.
Yes.
Hence why these bags under my eyes.
So when you've got these clients on their first shoot, what kind of tips would you give them to maximise their day and get the best
First
shots?
of all, just chill out. You've done all the hard work by this point. Like, there's nothing you're going to do on that morning. But there might be a little thing that you guys, the true professionals that really know their stuff, will be able to tweak you a slight bit. If you're your general, your client, you should be in tip-top condition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're wanting to be the best, don't fuck about your diet, stick to it, get it done, and then turn up on the day knowing that you. And then when you can see yourself in the mirror, you've been judging yourself for the last 16 weeks. Like, you're going to be hard on yourself. If you actually chill out, you'll find that your photos look better. The more relaxed you are, I personally find, I'm not that type of guy to shout at people and start like, I'll give you a bit of kind of pointer and direction, but it's best just to turn up with a nice like kind of, you've done all the hard work, go and enjoy it. It's quite a weird feeling. Once you've got into the shoot, you chill out. When you see some of the images and you go, well, I didn't realise that looked like this, or like a lot of people, like you posted the other day, like they don't realise their back looks the way they do because, well, unless you're an owl, you can't see your back.
They actually, people tend to look better and better as the shoot goes on. About 45 minutes into the shoot,
I've always said it's when they relax.
Best,
I think they relax, and cortisol levels go down, blood flow increases.
So they can actually get pumped.
Start to get pumped.
That's the difference between professional cortisol levels and all this. Like other people just go, yeah, you look better as it went on.
Because at the beginning they're so nervous that they can't.
Everything's just so contracted.
But I think you've worked so hard, and it's a personal thing, isn't it? Like you're standing there not wearing an awful lot to be captured. Afterwards,
in a gym with other people.
Yeah, after where everyone's working on the same thing, that you're going to turn around and go, that girl's got a better bum than me, that guy's got a bigger chest than me. But that doesn't matter. The difference is like if nobody else was in that gym, it'd just be me and you in the gym shooting, and at the end of it, you're going to turn around and go, well, look, like in 6 months' time, you're going to look back and go, well, I was fat, now I look far better. If I want to do it again, there's another 6 months down the line, I'll do another one. If not, 3-4 years down the line, life's taking its toll, you do whatever, you can turn around and go, I committed to something, I did it. Yeah. And no one can ever take that away from you, and that's what the whole photography is, just stamping on a moment.
So let's go through a couple of quick fire questions for sort of relating into the tips for the day of the shoot. So tan, should people get spray tan or not?
Yes, I would say, like, there's no better feeling afterwards once you've done your shoot. You walk away tanned and you're like, damn, I look good. Get a spray tan done maybe a day or two before. If you're quite happy to walk around with it, cool. Like some people are a bit nervous about suddenly, like they were quite pale, and then suddenly like
turn up to work.
Yeah, they're like, well, you know, you're mahogany. What happened there? Just because then you relax into it, you get used to it. You can do the rub-on tans, but obviously, like if you want to use baby oil that we're going to say about, obviously you've got a tendency to make it smear, which then obviously just brings all sorts of drama.
So the recommendation here would be get a spray tan. Go to a professional.
If you're wanting to look like the top you can, I would say get a spray tan, then on the day use baby oil, and that's just going to make everything shine up. The highlights will look brighter, the shadows will look darker, you'll look leaner, perfect. If you're not going for that like kind of shredded look, and you're quite happy with a more natural approach, you can either just do the rub-on one. Spray tan's just as easy. It's probably less hassle. Someone else sprays it for you rather than doing it yourself.
Just easy. Just stand in a tent, get sprayed down. Hair. Do they remove it?
I mean,
waxing,
like some
clippers?
people, obviously, like I know you guys recommend using clippers and just kind of obviously it can irritate your skin if if you do get a lot of irritations. Don't necessarily go shaving everything off. I've always been able to shave and it's not been too bad for myself, so that's not an issue. It's kind of, you should know yourself a little bit. But yeah, and also like just don't go too overboard with thinking that like if you've got a little bit of hair somewhere that it's going to change the world. Like just go over yourself a bit and it'll be all right.
Yeah, I think just the main one is for guys. Just take the chest rug off. Use some clippers or something. Everything in the torso. Just get rid of that. I know guys that shave their legs for photo shoots. I think that's taking it too far.
It's horrible. It's the worst thing that grows back.
Yeah, just do your torso. If you're gonna get waxed, you've never had one before, do it like 4 to 6 weeks before the photo shoot to test it.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is turn up at the photo shoot red raw with boils and rashes.
I think clippers.
The clippers is going to be the best way. Grab some clippers. Okay, so you've already touched on it, but oil, you would recommend what a client bring their own oil to shoot?
Bit of a baby oil, like you can get the spray on stuff that's nice and easy to rub over. Quite a lot of people turn up with mates as well, like to the shoots. Like it's not a problem for me. Sometimes the gyms get a bit funny about it, but they can help rub it on. Unless I've got a kind of good rapport with the guys. It could be, but it turns things a lot, and I think Jade would start to question quite a few things. Obviously, I will assist girls in so much as moving hair out the way and stuff. But yeah, realistically, like it's probably steps of boundary me doing any of that type of stuff. To be fair, I could care less. I don't mind. Like I don't sit there and judge myself on any of that. If someone needs help, I just give them a hand. But at the same time, I'm not going to be in a gym rubbing up girls putting oil on their legs as much as most guys would probably love to do that. It's not going to take my business very far. So,
clothes. Do you get this question? Do they ask what they should wear?
Yeah, I always say to people, wear your best outfit.
Yeah.
Like some people are going to have like their best better turn up, button up. Clothing wise, I would say wear something that makes you feel good, that's comfortable, that maybe go and treat yourself. You know, you put this hard work in, make yourself look the best you can. Kind of turn up in ropey old shorts or ragged trainers. Just I don't know. If you're looking for a finished product, go with that. If you really don't care and you just want to look good, do what you like. Like I'm not going to judge you. Yeah.
So you say mostly for guys, they probably end up towards the end of the shoot, shorts and topless probably.
Yeah.
And females will probably be what, gym shorts?
Females are going to be gym like I say. Females are normally going to be bra and shorts. I'd say just wear something you feel comfortable in. If you aren't in the condition that you want to be in, but you're doing it to mark a stage in like your transformation, then maybe wear something that is kind of revealing, but at the same time, it allows you to see where you've transformed. Yeah. I think if you cover that up, what's the point in doing a shoot? In some ways, like that's just my opinion on it. Yeah. But just something that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing. If when you feel good, you look good because instantly, your face lights up. You feel good. You're walking around the gym feeling like you own the place. Then you look at the photos and you go, "Oh, I look good." Whereas if you don't feel good or comfortable in it, it just means I've got more hard work to get you out of you, get you out of your own head. And like some girls look absolutely phenomenal and they'll beat themselves up about not wearing the tiniest of shorts and stuff like that. And I have to say to them, look, just chill out. Just relax. You look good.
What's the number one mistake that people make going into photo shoots?
Just in general, like just I say the stress.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't like you're doing a photo shoot to capture something you've worked so hard for. Like be proud of it. If you haven't got to where you've got to, then you're on a journey, and just accept that. And go, this is where I am. Doesn't mean you haven't worked your balls off and you haven't achieved what you have achieved, because some people have lost like 4 stone and you go, look at you, you're a completely different person. And then the next time you want to come back looking like a bodybuilder where you've got another year's worth of hard graft, then you're going to do it. People kind of think that, oh, I've done my shoot, oh, I didn't look the way I wanted to, life's over.
Yeah.
Like, get a grip, like just clear your head, like just come in with a good positive attitude. Like a lot of people get so nervous about like, oh, am I going to look this way? Is this going to look nice? And you just stress yourself out for no reason. Everyone's got their own like little problems. Like everyone's going to have, oh, my abs don't pop out as much as someone else's, but then my legs look leaner than someone else's. You're not doing a photo. You're not doing a photo shoot. I'm not doing a photo shoot to compete against you. Yeah. I mean, as much as I'd win, but it's but like you're doing it for yourself to step where you're coming from. If you're going to judge yourself on someone else, and the honest news for you is you're going to have a hard time in life, a real hard time in life. just look at what you're doing, concentrate on that, sod everyone else, and just go smash it and enjoy it. Smart.
Bringing some life lessons into this one.
Yeah, we got life lessons, everything we've got.
It's part of psychology, isn't it? Really, like if you come in with a good mindset to things, and you're more positive about things, generally you get better results and people will like you more. If you're a tosser and you come up with a really bad attitude, you're just going to turn around and say, "No, I'm all right."
I think this is why he's so good at on shoot days, right? I think this is what separates you.
Well, this is what I was about to ask. My next question, funnily enough, was what separates you from other photographers currently? So he's beat me to it. So
well, to be fair, you two work with me. You've also worked with other photographers. What's your honest answers?
for me, I hate my photo being taken. Whereas when I do a shoot with Ben, he just takes the piss out of me. Just straight away, my barriers are down. It's just there's a bit of banter going back and forth.
It's just way more natural.
Yeah,
it's not.
It doesn't feel like hard work.
When I shoot with other people, it's just it's very rigid, and go do this. There's no chit chat in between. Whereas with Ben, it's like it's just a laugh.
You can't shut him up.
You can't
like we're trying now. I'm joking. I'm not.
Honesty is the best policy.
When it's with Ben, it's so easy to shoot with him that I think that's what separates him. And I think if you can kind of capitalise on that, then.
I like to talk to people because I think it makes people feel relaxed.
Yeah.
If you're too business and serious, you just end up being like, am I doing something wrong? Am I doing it right? Like what's going on?
Same as PT, right?
Yeah.
You're trying out too much of a robot, you're not going to get anywhere.
No, exactly. Just be human.
You're
human. I'm up for having a laugh with people. The amount of people that squint, pull funny faces. I'll always show you that photo because instantly you're going to go, "Hey, that's quite funny." And then the next photo I scroll around when you're looking shit hot, and you're going to go, "I look good," and also I'm having fun. And then you turn around and go, "Yeah, that was a good experience." Yeah. That's what that's life about, isn't it? Having a good experience.
Yes.
So that's psychology.
Too long.
No, it's fine. So that's psychology as to what separates you. But let's go into actually the shots themselves. Ultimately, what the client is paying for, what they're coming away from. How would you define your style? Obviously, you've got the make it rain stuff, which you've thrown your edge on that I haven't seen anybody else do. So just talk us through the technical stuff that's going to be straight over Akash and I's head.
Yeah.
And all of the listeners.
But
I won't go into the deep depths because
not the deep depth. Just explain to people what is the make it rain shoot.
So the make it rain shoot I do is basically I set up a black background. We've got some copper pipes, some shower heads, and I let it rain. And you stand underneath the rain, you get wet. Most people laugh through the whole thing.
I'm laughing now.
And it's just a bit of fun, and also you can get a fitness look without it being posed. Because you're doing something stupid anyway, so that takes your mindset off of the fact of how's my abs looking. You're laughing, which as we've seen, the more people laugh, your abs look better. My personal opinion. If you can laugh and then kind of cover your face up so then you tense your abs, that's a perfect ab shot. The make it rain suit is to just kind of take the edge off of that kind of in the gym, people looking at you. You're in a kind of confined space, you're getting wet. Doing fitness is completely bonkers, but at the same time, that's why it looks good.
The images look really
and
cool.
Also, the best shots are when people try to be unique. They come up with a slightly different twist on it. And also, if you can shout throughout the shoot, there's a shot I've got of one of the guys called Luke. His shot looks epic because he's just and it just looks like he's doing the hardest bicep curl. And he's had 5 kilos that he could have done it all day long, but it just looks good.
My 10 kilo.
So a little story, when I did my photo shoot, we've got this shot of Adam. It's one of my favourite shots of him doing a bicep curl, and I purposely picked up a heavier dumbbell, locked my arm in, and literally was in agony just trying to hold on to this shot, just to prove that I could lift a bigger weight.
I've got the nickname Big Tens from a couple of female clients.
Even I picked up the 12.5.
I've told 2 female clients of Adam's as well, pick up a bigger dumbbell than a 10, it'll round him right up. But the make it rain shoot is just something different, it's unique, and it's just a bit of fun, which is what I'm kind of about. Gym wise, there's people like Matt Marsh and Matt Marsh for me has got the real perfected look. If I was to say someone that gets it right every time, the images he shows, he'd be the one I'd say. I really like Chris Bailey. I've never met Simon Howard, but I've spoken to him a couple of times. They've got their own styles to things, and I really like the way Chris Bailey's images kind of make the people stand out. I really like the way that Matt likes his images, and Simon had like he uses quite like the similar kind of like depth to what I try and do. Like he does a very like short depth, so it means that the background's kind of out of focus.
Mm-hmm.
I know Matt Marsh doesn't really do many, or he does gym shoots, but he mainly does a lot of studio stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of found myself. I wanted that kind of more perfected look, but in an artistic way.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't want to be the same as them, because what's the point?
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of took it. So.
I think you found a good niche, and I think you're perfect for kind of the intermediate trainee who wants to kind of document their progress.
And that's where my work's going, is that I want to now take it to the next level. Like that's where I'm really trying to get hard on myself next year, like to really start giving something that's even better.
And that's the reason that we're in the middle of setting up a package with Ben.
A photo shoot package.
So a photo shoot prep package where you can work with us for either 12 weeks, 16 weeks, or a full 6 months, and then you'll have a photo shoot at the end of it with Ben himself, so you can show off the hard work. And
exactly. One tip to people: make sure you get a good before shot.
Yes, yeah. Well, Akash and I are quite stringent on this. That when our new clients sign up with us, if they're before photos of them, rubbish lighting, with their iPhone, we do ask them if they wouldn't mind just to retake it.
There's nothing more frustrating than looking back. Like I've got some before photos, but I lost about a stone before I started with Adam. I wish I got a photo before that, because then the transformation would have looked even better. So that's another tip for everyone out there.
It's kind of it's double-edged sword, because typically when people start their transformation, it's when obviously they feel their worst and the least confidence. It's when they really don't want to get in front of the camera.
You know what I did? I put my before photos, my background on my phone.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Because you will never show your phone to anyone, because you're petrified of showing them in your pants looking crap. But also every time you look at your phone, it reminds you not to go and eat shit.
Yeah, that's a good one. Any other questions at the moment?
No, I think we've got it all covered with that. So how can people contact you?
Instagram's probably I post to Instagram all the time, like just keeping on top of that, because as a photographer, I like get my work out there. It's for photos, makes sense. So I'm at BenMark Photo on Instagram, Facebook, BenMark Photography, and then my website is benmarkphotography.com. I'm going to start doing a bit more YouTube next year. I'm going to start vlogging and doing some bits and pieces, maybe not daily, because I don't want to drive myself nuts trying to make videos every day, but I would still want to get out and make some cool. I would rather bring out a good video every week than lots of just.
What are you most excited about in 2018?
Big year. Going travelling, going to the Philippines and Thailand for a month.
Nice.
With Jade. Jade's 30th as well next year, my fiancée, and then she will no longer be my fiancée as of 7th of September. So
oh wow.
Yeah, it's all happening next year. It's my first year of being self-employed solely, so
it's a big year.
It's a life-changing year though, coming up.
Yeah, it's all happening. So I hope she doesn't try and ask for kids at the end of it, because I might have to say no to that. Practice, but she's going to hear this and she'll hate this. But for me, I'm looking forward to seeing where I can take my photography. If I get an opportunity to go and do something cool, like travel with it, go and experience in different places, I want to try and get into more like sports, like football and stuff like that. That's where part of my passion lies. I'd like to try and do more of the Make It Rain shoots, and also try and come up with another concept of something. I did a lot of the chalk clap shots that kind of got quite popular.
Yeah.
Try and see if I can throw something like that into the mix. Now we have a bit more time to do it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
Yes, thank you very much for that, Ben. So wrapping this up, this is Adam Haley, Akash Vigala, and fitness photographer Ben Mark. This was episode 6 of RNT Fitness Radio. If you've enjoyed this, then please hit the subscribe button. And also feel free to check out our website for our educational area, which is rntfitness.co.uk. Follow us on Instagram, which is @AdamHaley1, @Akash Vigala, and @RNT Fitness. Is it RNT_Fitness?
RNT_Fitness.
Yeah,
Get that
RNT.
right.
Yeah, you've got to get that right. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks for listening.
No problem.